Woohoo! Someone finally beat fucking Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs go down 30-21, courtesy of the Buffalo Bills. Yes, Bills Mafia, your team won. Thank God. Woohoo! You played a much better game. The game was, there was a good amount of penalties here and there. It wasn't too bogged down by penalties. There was an egregious missed review that should have been called at the end of the game, but the Chiefs are just going to get the calls most times. But the Bills win, and Josh Allen was certainly the hero today. He certainly took the Bills on his back and won the game. But we're going to go over it like we do every other game that I ever review and preview. So let me know what you think down below, and let's get to it. The Bills win big. The defense played really well today. Mahomes did have 3 touchdowns today, but they were pretty short and not too long. He had one really bad interception in the beginning to Taylor Rapp. He also had an interception to end the game as well. But early on for the Bills, James Cook led the way. He was pretty darn good today, at least in the first half. Second half, they more so went to the passing game, especially after the first couple drives in the third where they were just kind of stifled and weren't really getting anything going. James Cook had around 60 yards rushing, 67 yards on the ground, and 2 touchdowns. He looked pretty darn good. Josh Allen had kind of a slow first half for sure. Ended up having an interception, which is one of those interceptions that you just look at like, Josh, you can't make that play. You can't make that play. It was a 4th and 2nd. They should have just kicked the field goal, but instead he's falling back, just throwing up into the ether. Chiefs pick it off and take it back. Not all the way, but the Chiefs did end up scoring as a result of that. Receiver-wise, Amari Cooper had some nice plays today. Khalil Shakir had a couple of really big plays as well. Dawson Knox had a decent game overall. Some good overall action for the Bills offense for the most part of the day. Now the Chiefs, like I said, Mahomes had that really bad interception to Taylor Rapp to open the game, and as a result, Bills were able to take the ball down and score via a James Cook touchdown. Bernard had a really nice game, a sack and an interception. Von Miller added a sack as well. Taylor Rapp did go out early. I'm not sure if he was able to return to the game or not, but Deion Dawkins left late in the third, but came back within 2 plays after they taped up his ankle. But yeah, it was a pretty darn good day for the Bills, all things considered. They won, and now for the Chiefs, we knew they were going to lose eventually. I just, even in my worst nightmares, I never would have thought the Chiefs would go undefeated for the whole year. It just doesn't happen in this day and age. And to be honest, with all the rumors and all the conspiracy theories out there about how the NFL rigs the game for the Chiefs, if the Chiefs would have gone into the playoffs undefeated and then won it all, I think the NFL would have lost a lot of large part of his fan base. I mean, really do. I mean, it's so egregious sometimes. There was a really bad call today late in the third quarter, a missed call, a total face mask, basically jerked the guy right nearly off his block and should have gotten at least a couple more yards, but blatant missed call. They're late in the fourth as well. On the Chiefs' final drive, it was 3rd and 13. There was a catch for 10 yards, brought it down to like 4th and 3. But clearly, after the review, the guy never had control of the ball. Had control of it for a second, but then as he was going down to the ground, the ball was clearly right here below his midsection. It was totally out. But the NFL just said, nah, we're not going to review that. It's under 2 minutes. But it's like, this is the kind of play where the NFL needs to have people in New York watching the game and just say, you have to review that play. That is clearly not a catch by any stretch of the imagination. Now, it didn't factor in ultimately into the game because the Chiefs ended up losing, but it was just one of those plays that, especially if you're a Bills fan, you saw like the ball was never caught. It clearly hit the ground. He never had full control. But, things with the NFL just happen to help the Chiefs out. Now the Bills were able to keep Travis Kelce in check for most of the part of the game. Kelce had like 2 catches today, not much yardage. Kareem Hunt was kept in check for most of the day. There was a really nice throw to D Hop at one point that they probably could have thrown challenge flag on, but to be honest, I think he ultimately did not maintain control throughout the possession. I think for the Chiefs wise, they played a pretty good game overall. But again, that interception in the beginning of the game is just like it was like one of the first plays. It's just like you can't do that, and that's been a thing for Mahomes the whole year. He's been interception happy all year round, but yet somehow people still think he's an MVP of the league. He's just not. I mean, he certainly is the most talented quarterback in the NFL right now, based on talent alone. But if you were to say, based on stats this year, does he deserve to be MVP? Nah, he doesn't. But the Bills, Josh Allen certainly does. Josh Allen definitely deserves to be out there. Even though he's had like 4 straight games with an interception, he's still been the hero of this team. He's been there for this team all the time. He's always plays well against the Bills. Probably not as good of a game as he normally does against the Bills, but had a nice touchdown early, or a nice touchdown late in the second half, and then he had one of the best plays of the year. 4th and 2. Bills there's like 3.5 minutes left. The Bills could kick the field goal, be up by 5, and leave the Chiefs. Well, actually, it was more like 2:25. Chiefs still had like 2 timeouts, and Bills had 2 timeouts as well. The Bills could kick the field goal, be up by 5, give the Chiefs 2:25 left with 2 timeouts, and hope the defense can stop them. Or you can go on 4th and 2, get the first down. But what happened was even better. 4th and 2. Josh Allen takes it for himself. 26-yard run, barrels and tanks his way through the Chiefs defense and gets that touchdown. I mean, he is just been taking the steam on his back all year long, especially with all the injuries they've had, especially to wide receivers and skill position players. Man, they've been ravaged. But when the game is needed most, Josh Allen more times than not is stood up. Yes, there was that Houston game where he was obviously concussed and probably shouldn't have even been out there, but Josh Allen has been the leader of your team. Bills Mafia, you do have a great quarterback in Josh Allen, and he continues to show it. Now, hopefully, I hope for your sake, he gets to show it in the playoffs, and for once, hopefully, it gives you a win. Because, my God, your city, the fan base, just deserves it, especially with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are so favored by the NFL. It is absolutely egregious how many calls they get that just no other team would. And how many missed penalties are missing. My God. Now, it certainly helped later in the game. The Chiefs did look like they're starting to drive, but thankfully, Juwan Taylor, like he's been doing for most of the year, had a terrible holding penalty where he totally wrapped up the defender and just like, I mean, it has to be called. And as a result, on the final play of the game, Patrick Mahomes steps up, throws up, and throws a interception to Bernard. Great play by Bernard. And as a result, the Bills win. The Bills win 30-21. It was told on the preview video, that the game wouldn't make the 50, but they just made it to 50. Just this team, the way these two teams play each other, points are kind of at a premium, but still they do kind of fly. But overall, Bills defensively had a good game. Oh yeah, Curtis Samuel had that first touchdown from Josh Allen, so that was good. He's had definitely been getting better and more usage, especially with Coleman out and others as well. But yeah, the Bills are a great team. They've won 6 in a row since their last loss to Houston, where they, by all accounts, should have won that game. I mean, the Bills were down in that game big. They came back, but if Josh Allen hadn't been concussed, they'd probably win that game. But they're winning hard. They're winning close. They're winning big. They're doing all the things necessary to win. They basically have a Well, more. Well, they basically have like a 7 game lead in the division because 5 games outright, and then they beat the Miami Dolphins twice. So they swept the. They still have 2 more games against the Patriots and 1 more game against the Jets. So the Bills could ostensibly sweep the NFC East this year for sure. And I mean, the Bills could have the NFC wrapped up in the next 2 weeks. So literally, that's just how dominant they've been in the division. I know the division in general has just been really, really bad this year. I mean, the kind of division the NFC East has had this year is like what the Patriots had for years. I mean, Patriots fans don't never want to acknowledge the fact that the Patriots played in the worst division for good 15 to 20 years and basically got 4 to 5 wins every year. Now, if you start off any team with 4 to 5 wins from their division each year, the chances of them making the playoffs and going on to do better things are really, really high. And hopefully this year, the Bills can take advantage of this. And hopefully by the time they get to the playoffs, they're rested. Matt Milano will be back, and that will really help charge this defense. I mean, or matching him up with Bernard is a great combination. Taylor Rapp in the back. Ah, I'm sorry, I forgot your cornerback. I'm sorry. Uh, Tron Johnson and Bills have a really good defense, and they've been playing really well all year. Held the Chiefs to under 21 points, and the Bills were like the first team this year to score over 28 points against the Chiefs, so that's good. The Bills won this game. They had played the better game. They kept the penalties to a minimum for the most part, and yeah, the Bills won, and they should be very proud. 9-2 after the kind of turnover they had in the offseason. Bills Mafia, you deserve this. Way to go. You beat the fucking Chiefs. Then the rest of the NFL salutes you. But let me know what you think down below. Let me know what you think what the chances are that the Bills get the number 1 seed. And I honestly think they do have a good chance. Now they still do need the Chiefs to win or to lose at least 1 more game. Then they'll have that tiebreaker. I don't know if the Bills play the Steelers at all, but if they do, they could get a tiebreaker over them. But the Bills still have a tough schedule coming up. Still got the 49ers, still got the Lions, and still got, I forgot the other really good team they play. But the Bills still have a tough schedule coming up. But I mean, the next 5 games are going to be tough for sure. But they already got one. They got one out of the way. They got their most important win out of the way. Beat the Chiefs at home. Now they get to rest. They get a nice rest. Hopefully that wrist injury or whatever that Josh Allen sustained will be fine. He'll get a week off to repair for I forgot who they play coming off the bye week. I think the 49ers. They play the 49ers coming up. I mean, that would be cool to play at home against the 49ers and get Matt Milano back. That would be huge. But the Bills won this game. They deserve all the credit. Way to go, Bills Mafia. Fuck the Kansas City Chiefs. But, man, the Bills played a great game. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Have a great day. Go Bills Mafia, go. And as always, God bless.